From this also it is clear that providence is not incompatible with the freedom of the will. For the government of every provident is directed to the perfection of the things governed, or to obtain, or to increase, or to preserve. Therefore, that which is perfection must be preserved more by providence than that which is imperfection and deficiency. But in inanimate things, the contingency of causes is due to imperfection and deficiency. For according to their nature, they are determined to one effect, which they always achieve unless there is an impediment either from weakness of power, or from some external agent, or from the indisposition of matter. And for this reason, natural causes are not active in both, but as most often they produce their effect in the same way, but rarely fail. Now that the will is a contingent cause, proceeds from its perfection, because it does not have a power limited to one thing, but he has the power to produce this or that effect, for which reason it is contingent upon either. It therefore belongs more to the divine providence to preserve the freedom of the will than to the contingency of natural causes. Further, it belongs to divine providence to use things according to their manner. Now the mode of action of anything results from its form, which is the principle of action. Now the form through which a willing agent acts is not determined, for the will acts through the form apprehended by the intellect, for the good apprehended moves the will as its object. But the intellect does not have one determinate form of effect, but it is of its nature to comprehend a multitude of forms, and for this reason the will can produce manifold effects. Therefore it does not belong to the principle of providence that it excludes the freedom of the will. Again, by the guidance of any provident, the governed things are brought to a suitable end, whence also Gregory of Nyssa says of the divine providence that it is the will of God by which all things receive their suitable deduction. Now the ultimate end of every creature is to achieve divine likeness, as was shown above. It would therefore be inconsistent with providence if that thing by which it attains divine likeness were to be withdrawn from anything. But the voluntary agent attains the divine likeness in that he acts freely, for it was shown in the first place that free will is in God. Therefore the freedom of the will is not withdrawn by providence. Still, providence is the multiplier of goods in things governed. That therefore by which many goods were withdrawn from things does not belong to providence. But if the freedom of the will were taken away, many goods would be taken away. For the praise of human virtue would be taken away, which is none if man does not act freely. The justice of rewarding and punishing would also be taken away, if man did not freely do good or evil. He would also cease to survey the plans, which are discussed in vain about things that are done out of necessity. It would therefore be contrary to the reason of providence if the freedom of the will were withdrawn. Hence it is that it is called Wisdom 15:14. God established man from the beginning, and left him in the hand of his counsel. And again, 18 before man is life and death, good and evil. Whatever pleases him will be given to him. By this, however, the opinion of the Stoics is excluded, who, according to a certain insurmountable order of causes, which the Greeks called imar mein, said that all things proceed from necessity.